And hello everyone, and welcome back to another one of my trip reports. And today I'm coming to you from the QANTAS Club here at Brisbane Airport Domestic Terminal. Now earlier on I've just got off a flight from Darwin, so I'm transiting here for about an hour and a half before jumping on Jetstar and heading back home to Adelaide. It's been a very long commute because QANTAS, instead of putting me on the nonstop from Darwin to Adelaide, they've routed me through Brisbane. So this entire commute is gonna take me close to 10 hours to get from Darwin to Adelaide, but hey, I am not complaining because I get more lounge time and I'm literally eating my way through the entire trip. I had a meal at the lounge in Darwin, I had a meal on the plane, 2 meals actually, and then I'm gonna have a meal here and then a meal later on Jetstar because I bought something to eat. So yeah, I'm looking forward to tucking into my dinner and then I will see you on the plane. Alright, follow me, let's go. The QANTAS Club at Brisbane was refurbished sometime in the beginning of 2016. It takes design cues from the plushier business lounge next door, so this QANTAS Club isn't too shabby. The design house of Woods Bagot, I hope I'm not butchering his name, has used the raw Queensland landscape as inspiration, which explains the copious amount of wood trimming. As Kath and Kim would say, it's noise, it's unusual, it's noise, yeah. After stuffing my face with lots of carbs I didn't really need, it was time to head to the boarding gates. This is normally a busy time for Brisbane, but the lockdown has cancelled many flights. Therefore, this has resulted in a very tranquil experience. Since it wasn't too busy, JQ782 decided to board early and I panicked seeing how the boarding gate was already empty and I was one of the last few passengers to board. Flying us back to Adelaide tonight is Victor Hotel Victor Foxtrot uniform, which is slightly less than 8 years old at the time of writing. Jetstar's A320s are in a standard 3-3 configuration and has a capacity for 180 passengers in an all-economy layout. Seat pitch is an eye-watering 29 inches, but I've honestly never found that to be a problem since I am built like a garden gnome. The flight was almost full, except for the last few rows where I am seated. Jetstar is a low-cost carrier. Your seat features are pretty much a seat with minimal recline and a tray table that can be moved back and forth once deployed. Wow!
Again, we want you to have a safe and enjoyable flight, so please listen closely while we take you through the safety requirements for our Airbus A320. Your crew are highly trained to help keep you safe, so make sure you listen to and follow their instructions. As we get underway, please make sure your personal electronic devices are in a flight safe mode or otherwise completely switched off. Your carry-on baggage and larger electronic devices should now be placed either under the seat in front of you or in an overhead locker. Check that your seat back is upright, your tray table is stowed away, your armrest is lowered, and your window shade is open.
Takeoff was pretty smooth going. I was seated at the wrong side because the aircraft soon turned right and the passengers on the other side had a $1 million view of the Brisbane CBD in all its glittery glory. Flying distance between Brisbane and Adelaide is 1,007 miles or 1,621 kilometers. The flight today clocked in at 2 hours 45 minutes from pushback to chokes. Let's explore the seat pocket contents. There is a safety card, a 2-page in-flight menu, and I strangely had 2 airsick bags. It's late winter in Adelaide, so an outfit change was necessary before dinner, so I do not freeze my nuts off. It was soon time for me to tuck into my 5th and final meal of the day. The Jetstar Toasty is normally sold out by the time the hosties get to me in the last few rows, so I was pleasantly surprised they still had it on this flight. As much as I love to eat, sometimes I just appreciate a simple cheesy toasty. This one here fit the brief. I would honestly fly Jetstar again just so I could get my hands on one of them. After dinner, it is time to stretch out on my flat bed. I call this the poor man's business class. When I'm flying economy, I always pick the last few rows because this is real estate gold. Are reviews of the loo still a thing? I feel it's becoming repetitive, and I'm only doing it because it seems as if people want to see what an aircraft loo looks like. But seriously, let me know what you think. Should I continue with this loo business? It is now time to conclude this journey. Even though we boarded early at Brisbane, we pushed back late because some passengers weren't in their assigned seats. Airlines in Australia now require passengers to remain in their assigned seats for contact tracing purposes due to COVID-19. Once those passengers were sorted, ground crew could not reconcile headcount, so passenger numbers had to be manually counted again, leading to a further delay. Suppose it was a good thing that we boarded early. Once in the air, we managed to make up for lost time due to favorable winds and we landed just over 10 minutes late. Not too bad considering what happened in Brisbane. This batch of crew was hardworking and extremely proactive in making sure everyone got their meals very quickly before lights out. I'm sure they've had a long day and wanted to rest as well. And this being a terminating flight, it is understandable. Call bells were answered promptly and they were very polite at all times. I might be biased being from South Australia, but for as long as I live, I will never get tired of approaching Adelaide Airport with the CBD welcoming me home. Indeed, this approach for runway 23 is one of my favorites.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Adelaide. Jetstar would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of this land. We'd also like to pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging. Now please remain seated with your seatbelts fastened until the captain switches off that seatbelt sign. Today we're going to disembark using the forward left-hand door only. If you can reach your mobile device without unfastening your seatbelt, you can take it out of flight mode now, should you wish to use it. And just a reminder that smoking is strictly prohibited within the terminal. Take care when you open overhead lockers, items may have moved during the flight. And now's the time to check that you have all of your personal belongings with you before you leave the aircraft today. Quick reminder that masks are to be worn as you disembark this aircraft and throughout the airport terminal. Now, on behalf of your captain, Steve D'Ambrosio, your first officer, Dennis Pheasant, and your Adelaide-based crew, we'd like to thank you for choosing to fly Jetstar. It has been our pleasure bringing you through to Adelaide. Please stay safe, and we look forward to seeing you the next time you choose to travel. Thank you and good evening.
For my viewers outside of Australia who are curious about our situation here, travelling domestically into some states, you're now required to apply for a travel pass which is subjected to approval. When you arrive at your destination, it looks like an immigration hall. But instead of passports, you present the travel pass on your phone and you'll be asked a few questions about your previous movements with regards to COVID-19 hotspots. Your approval to enter will depend on how you answer the questions. At present, only the airports of Adelaide, Perth and Darwin has this arrangement. I was allowed to enter South Australia because I was only transiting through Brisbane Airport. Otherwise, on this day, travel between Brisbane and Adelaide was severely restricted because Queensland was technically still locked down. Wow! And just like that, we're back in Adelaide. And this signals the end of my Darwin adventure. So I've had a whole list of related videos I made for this trip, so I encourage you to check it out. I will link it on top or at the end of the video. It will be found in the description as well. So thanks for following me on this journey. So chuck me a follow on my social, and if you haven't done so, do hit the subscribe button and also tap the bell notification icon so you'll know the next time when I embark on such an adventure again. And wow, I mean, Darwin was just magical. I can't wait to go back. So until my next trip, I'll see you guys around and take care, and I'll see you again soon. Bye!